So we're just continuing from last time. Now this game has been crashing today.
You're back.
Let's see if we
Good.
can do better.
What can I help you with?
Ah, you're on a boat.
Why, yes I am.
A lot of people
Of
on
course
boats
there
are.
are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around?
I mean, wait, we're on a archipelago.
Yes, we are. We are on Le Caillou.
Caillou.
We are. And the city of Revachol is on the island of...
Blah 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 blah.
Actually, it's for crossing long distances in a great...
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol, between the city and the island.
She's having a good time.
Does she have a
The
name?
boat?
The word, a breeze ripples
Oh, but
through
your
the
boat
cells
really
and
needs a
tugs
name.
at your hair.
Okay. How about Cordelechi 19? Because it was manufactured in Revachol East by a company called Cordelechi, and its hull is 19 paces long.
How about the sleek fish?
What?
Because it's sleek and fish-like.
I think I'll stick with the factory name. But thank you. Okay, because it was
How about the
manufactured
X something?
The X something. The X what?
The executor.
Oh, I do like the sound of that. It sounds so decisive, so powerful.
Yes.
It's a pleasure craft, a 19 pacer. It also happens to be rated for Category 1 racing. Though these days I mainly use it for business.
How do you like
My slew? I like it a lot. It's the eel's hips, baby.
it?
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating.
Ken.
I really do, the lieutenant thinks. Is she thrown off yet? He's looking at the woman, assessing her.
Do you have a license for the boat?
Officer, I assure you I'm a highly qualified pleasure craft operator.
The crowns of her teeth are porcelain, white as the boat's hull as she smiles. Qualified pleasure craft operator. So charming.
Can I see your license?
Where's the damn license?
I just renewed its safety inspection last month, officers. It is completely seaworthy. In fact, it's taken part in not one, but two insulindic regattas. Even finished once.
What happened the other time?
The other time, I would have finished the race were it not for an urgent work matter, much like the one I'm on now.
Still need to see a license, man.
Actually, you don't.
What do you mean?
The Wayfarer Act specifically denies the RCM the authority to demand anyone's operator license. It's a little-known fact among us law officials.
Wait, how exactly how little known is this fact?
I was just being polite. Even school children
Oh.
know the Wayfarer Act.
So we can't pull over random civilians and demand the papers. That's weak.
Unless it's their passport. No. Do you want to ask for the lady's passport?
You need to save face if you want her respect. Demand that passport.
Ah, fine.
Of course.
Look at her passport.
The woman is silent, smiling while the waves lap against the hull. In your hand, under the plastic, a light blue passport saying, Republic of Vespa. The coat of arms has a lion and an ostrich. Seagent. The woman, born in the year 3 in the commune of Revachol, smiles at you. Face adorned with frown lines and crow's feet. The photo is recent. The name reads, Rejoice Leighton Messier.
Your name is Rejoice.
Yes. But please don't call me that. Joyce is much more efficient.
She doesn't like it. Probably a bad memory. Mean girls at school or some ancient lover.
You're from Vespa.
My husband is. I have dual citizenship. A Vespertine is handier when traveling.
Everything appears to be in order.
She nods and returns the plastic bag to her coat.
I think you have the handle on the boat thing.
Good.
Do you know something about these tattoos? Oh wait. Oh, oh, you seem rich. Can I have some money?
Is what you want to say, but it isn't that easy, is it?
What? Why not?
Look at that lady. Take a gander. Squint your eyes, bub.
What nice fabrics.
Why, yes. Tucked away under that sturdy green raincoat, almost rustic in its simplicity, a silk shirt and matching scarf around her gentle throat, while dull orange pearls hang from her earlobes, red from the cold. Her light green eyes scan you, full of knowledge and worry, wealth and all its possibilities. Now look at you, you misery-clad simian, barely able to tie your own laces. Your armpits are lakes. A scythe of booze precedes you. Your hair sticks to your forehead and your underwear feels uncomfortable. You're poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're
too ashamed, as I should be, for even considering it. Yeah. Yes, I should make my own goddamn money by now. What is this feeling? I've never felt it before. I'm too ashamed. Yes, I should make my own goddamn money by now.
Maybe you could ask her for some stock tips. That's a maybe. Or a job. But you're sure as hell too ashamed to ask for cash, buddy. Oh God, the lieutenant is here too. Do not dishonor the force.
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate to ask.
Ooh. Do not dishonor the Force. I would disrespect our authority in Inland Empire. Yeah, fine. You seem smart. I need someone to give me a lowdown on this reality we're in.
This reality?
The aim is to gain a deeper understanding.
By learning about the world, I hope to learn more about myself.
A sort of spiritual quest. Something of ancient Ilmaran origin.
Yes, the spirit quest sounds like the thing I want.
You will find him a big fan of the ancient ways. It's part of his condition.
Nothing wrong with ancient ways. Our modern ones aren't necessarily better. Ask away, officer. I'll help however I can.
All right, you're in. Begin with the first one. You'll appear worldly.
What times are these?
These are unimportant times, Detective. You and I were born after the dust had settled. 1,000th of a second too late.
Too late for what?
For the big time.
The smile of a predator. No doubt what she's got in mind.
What's the big time?
The revolution.
Ah, and what is this revolution I keep hearing about?
It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next, who gets shot in the head, and who gets the mineral rights. It's a real kerfuffle.
Would you say it's a bunch of apes duking it out?
Why, of course. We're talking Duke Out Central. Full swing intra-species warfare.
And the apes were the evil.
No. I would say the apes were neutral.
Okay, neutral.
On the other hand...
Ooh, what did we just gain? Okay, we've upped Inland Empire way too much. I want a little more empathy. Yeah. Our intellect is lacking and so is our motorics. It's a shame. Volition, authority, intimidate. We're not really intimidating. I'd rather work. Ooh, charming. I want a little more empathy, okay? Yes. We can take a lot of pain. Healthier organs, huh? Maybe we could do with a little more endurance too. Electrochemistry. The body take control threaten people. Interesting. Okay, who got shot on the head?
Those would be the communists. Generally speaking, 40 million people got shot in the head during the World Revolution. But the communists, they all got shot in the head.
She's not gloating. It's a relieved celebration.
Oh, and the anarchists too. They shot them well. So well, one forgets they even
Did the
existed.
communists and anarchists shoot back?
Did they ever? Before they got shot themselves, they shot 2 million people.
Truly a kerfuffle.
Yeah, it was a kerfuffle, all right.
Yes, the Insulindian deluge, they call it.
I had a deluge too in my head.
Yes, an acute thiamine deficiency can be exacerbated by alcoholism. Exacerbated means made worse.
Anyone else get shot in the head on the opposing side?
Oh, lots of people. Even the king got shot in the head, or thrown beneath a horse, or drowned. Accounts differ. It was unceremonious. Just as well, he wasn't actually the king. Just the king's nephew. The real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad.
Smart king.
Yes, King Guillaume had a nose for bad PR. He ran before it. What is the expression? Went down? Anyway, Gil got out alive and his nephew Frisell got shot in his place. Him and tens of thousands of his wonderfully fascist kingsmen. It was a wild time.
Who got the mineral rights?
The liberals got the mineral rights. And by mineral rights, I mean everything.
Okay, and by liberals you mean?
Liberals are usually middle-class people, Detective. Or the remaining gentry. The beneficiaries of the pre-revolutionary arrangement. Some were rich enough to stay with the Constitution, with monarchy. Big mistake. Others bet on the revolution. They were called the ultras, or ultra-liberals. They fared well. They didn't win so much as survive. We were the last ones standing when the war ended. Everyone else got shot in the head, remember?
Everyone got shot. Who was there to surrender to?
To foreign intervention. The coalition. Those people really took the mineral rights.
You just said the liberals already took everything.
The liberals took everything that wasn't nailed to the ground. The coalition took the ground. The ocean, the laws, and the people.
Who are the coalition?
The coalition of nations. Grad, Mesk, Vesper, Messina, Oranje, and Sur-le-Clay. The armed center of the world. They landed here and ended the revolution. It was the moralist thing to do.
There is bitterness in her voice, tempered with understanding. She is critical, but ultimately understands the cause.
Moralists.
The moralists believe in keeping everything exactly the way it is. They believe in mineral rights, and not shooting people in the head. At least not in the same manner and volume as the others do. They are the long-standing provisional rulers of Revachol now, the coalition government.
The rulers of Revachol, and also the world. These guys are strong.
This is their zone of control. They embolden the RCM with crumbs of the same law they took. Technically speaking, you are a moralist.
Not just technically, practically as well. I like what I've heard about these people. If I always pick the option that doesn't commit to anything, then hell yes I am, and also not. I don't think I am moralist, man.
Of course. Not easy to be moderate about head shooting in your line of work.
When was this kerfuffle?
The turn of the century revolution? Don't answer it. It's a trick question. The revolution began in '02 on the Isla of Grad, though by the end, nearly the whole world had gotten involved. It wasn't a who, but a what. A pandemic of Zarat, a particularly virulent prion disease, which the authorities in Grad proved unable to contain. Then Marzolf came along and overthrew the government.
What does Zareth do?
It made people overthrow their governments.
What? Oh. Oh, really?
Of course not. It was a highly infectious microorganism that destroyed brain tissue. The actual causes of the revolution were material. The pandemic only provided the spark.
Where did it spread from there?
From Revachol and Grad? Not far. The world managed to cauterize itself. Marzolf's government was overthrown in '08, and the coalition crushed the Revachol commune 2 years later. It was
What came
the
next?
end. Why? You and I, officer. Our lives in the zone of control.
Something tells you her life and yours are not that similar. Maybe it's because she has a boat and you have...
Our lives are very
That
different from
time?
each other.
No doubt. But we share the same time and position on the planet's crust. That counts for more than
What
you
is the
think.
zone of control?
A city-state divided into free market zones under the everlasting interregnum of the Coalition of Nations. And you, of course, the citizens' militia.
The clatter of typewriter keys fills the main hall of the reappropriated silk mill. Precinct 41. Chad Tilbrook presses enter. Outside, Officer Elfboy Williams slams the door of an armored motor carriage.
The zone of control is the third incarnation of Revachol, after the failure of the suzerain and the commune.
What happened in the rest of the world?
Modernity. They developed the marvels of the inter-eastlery communication. Telematic milieus, radiation, colored plastics. Meanwhile, in Revachol West, the aftermath continues.
It's been like
the
this
fifth
for how long
decade.
exactly?
43 years. Hard to fathom,
What
I
were you
know.
doing all that time?
The 20s saw a decade of urban war, west of the river leveled, offshore platforms in flames. Still, it's regarded as an improvement on what came before. '08 to '19 was simply hell.
And after that?
The 30s? Things settled down in the 30s. Revachol East transformed itself into the world's largest tax haven, with the international community's blessing. For the first time in a long time, it seemed like things were going somewhere.
Were they?
No. It was a market mirage fueled by cocaine and quantitative easing. The 40s dispelled like a cold splash, an Isla-wide hangover, you might say. And here we are. Welcome to reality, baby.
Dang. Lots of experience.
From the looks of it, the 50s haven't been much better for the zone of control. You can see it in her eyes.
You don't seem to be
Days
thrilled.
slipping away.
I've no right to be dissatisfied. This shirt is Barbara Muscova, this raincoat is impervious to rain and is guaranteed for 100 years. My daughters will wear it. No, it's just... we could have had so much more. Every one of us. If only we played it right.
What would you have done but differently?
Good question. What would you have done differently?
I would have made off with the mineral rights. I asked you, who are you in all this?
And I asked you, past less detective of the citizens' militia, what insight has acute encephalopathy given to you?
Here's some wisdom, lady. Say the death thing.
Oh, shoot. I would have killed more. 400 million if that's what it took.
The cold runs down your spine as you say the words, like a small electric charge that seeks grounding.
I see. A tenth of humanity. The key of history is in the lock. Keep turning at any cost.
Any costs. Though humanity is free in the age of capitalist past. Until it's all mine, every pigment drenched black leaf of money in Revachol. Until the middle age, the gentry and workers are all gone and the age of man is over. Until, I'd say maybe until humanity is free and the age of capital is past. Yes.
The wind stops, and for a moment, there's silence. The cold dissipates into your parietal lobe like a dissolved bullet. All is quiet on the Martinez Inlet.
Capital is past.
Past? That's what de Briever, the leader of the Communards, said before she got a bullet in her head. Don't get me wrong. Capital is finished. But understand this. Its end won't free anyone. It will only lead to more suffering.
Opinions expressed here do not reflect the official position of the RCM.
And what is your official position, Lieutenant?
My position, ma'am? My parents got ripped to shreds in the revolution. I would have gone the same way. I was saved by being 2 years old. That's my position.
Dang.
Abattoir.
Understandable. Good question.
What
would you have done
sought
differently?
a medical solution? Sounds like Sareth drove these people mad.
A cold creeps up your spine.
So a quarter of humanity simply lost their minds. And how would you stop a prion, a complex folding protein, unlife, with the technology 50 years ago?
Maybe with some hygiene, modest social care, and perhaps a little research program?
The wind stops, and for a moment,
There is peace in the heart.
Good hygiene. Really. A very moderate solution to an extreme problem. It's those sort of half measures that, when they failed to step up, Marzov and his party stepped in. In this particular case, maybe a more robust state response might have been appropriate. And what?
My position.
Understandable. Good question.
Could have made off with the mineral
What would
rights.
you have? You and everyone else. But that's got nothing to do with prevent. Good question. And you would have died, most likely. Not far from here. Maybe.
the cold runs down your spine. She gestures toward the waters.
Probably.
The wind stops.
No. Almost certainly. The commune would have forced you. Such was. Good question. What would you?
The cold runs.
I see. A tenth of humanity. The key of history is
Until
in the
the
lock.
society is crushing the
Turning at
reins.
any
This
cost.
is around forever.
The wind stops.
Revachol forever.
Forever? In 20 years, Revachol went from a king and what is
My position.
understandable. Good question. What would you?
The cold.
I see.
So it's
A
online.
tenth of
Every
humanity.
black
The wind
piece of money.
stops.
It's all yours.
All yours. That's been the motto of many an Indra. Believe it or not, Wild Pines isn't even the most notorious example. And what is
My position.
understandable? Good question.
The cold.
I see.
The wind stops.
The age of man is over.
Over. That's entropolism, the very height of late modernity. Evacuate this world. You may prove a truly modern man yet. And what is your
My position.
understandable? They are what they are. Anyway, enough sentimentality. Is there anything else you want to know?
Where are we?
We're in Martinez, baby.
Baby.
A casual term of endearment popular among the 50-plus crowd. It's a disco holdover, pay it no heed.
I'm a disco holdover myself.
Aren't we all?
And what is Martinez?
Martinez is a district of Revachol. A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbour. North of the 881 and Jamrock. You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. Shelled to smithereens during the Revolution. It has its charms, just not this time of year.
Tell me more.
I'm not a good ambassador. I've only been here once before, as a teenager. Not a lot has changed. There are ruins, a terminal, fishing boats, reeds, boys with boxy shoulders.
A brief spike of longing in her upright body. The dots under her eyelids shake.
This place used to be a province. A workers' resort before the city swallowed it and the artillery did its work. The Reeds are the real star of the show here now.
You were here as a teenager.
Yes, I was slumming it with some girlfriends of mine. We had boats and... Don't hold it against me. The boys certainly did not.
There's a spark in the air, a live wire hanging in the wind, in your hungover neocortex. Then the sea air cools it down.
You mentioned a sea. What sea is this?
It's not really a sea, it's the bay... Yes. We're on an island in an ocean. The world's largest body of water. The Insulindic.
Vast, lukewarm and unknowable, flowing in and
What's
out
the name of this island?
of sight.
Caillou, as you already know. Imagine a pebble. A smoothed-over pebble amidst a great blue sea, misshapen, cracked. The cracks are the River Esperance. We're in the delta of this river, on the 6th branch. The Martinez distribute.
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her.
Tell me another, perhaps even more fundamental aspect of reality.
I would be happy to.
Oh, yeah.
What is a preposterously expensive education for, if not sharing? We're in Martinez. Martinez, you would be excused for not knowing. Revachol.
What kind of a city is Revachol?
Great kind.
As if it's self-explanatory, beyond
What makes
patriotism.
Revachol great?
History detective. They built this city to resolve history. Our part in it, at least. Our centuries.
Okay, who built the city?
The nations of the Occident, or migrant workers from Seminine and Ile Marat, depending on your creed.
When was Revachol built?
In the DeLorean century. 380
And
years
why will it
ago.
resolve history?
They say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. The tensions are highest, the fault lines deepest. By that I mean conflicts. Ideological conflicts. The stuff of men.
Why here?
We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people in the middle of the Insulindic Ocean, the world's connected tissue. It's where the money is.
So we're pretty much at the center of the world.
Oh, we're quite a way off. About 22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the bank of the world building. The bottom floors are Insiacom. Coalition government, Insulindian mission command.
Silence. She lowers her hand. The water, the light. It's as though you're seeing it for the first time. There is no recognition. Only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it.
Where are we?
We are where we are. I have no truer answer to give, unfortunately.
This is one thought you need to complete. Where are you?
Dang it, I don't know how to add more thoughts.
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a lowdown. We're in Martinez. You would be excused for not knowing. Revachol, great
As if it's self.
history detective. They say by that time we are standing on a
So
fertile,
we're
self-sufficient
on
island
an
able to
unimportant part of an
sustain up to
important place.
200. I think it's fair to say so. 22 kilometers.
Silence. The water, there is no recognition. She observes your eyes. This is one thought you need.
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something
want
about
to know
a
what you
lowdown.
She won't maneuver her way out of this one.
What are you?
I am the vilest of the vile. A traitor, a devourer of nations and infants. I am an ultra.
It's sharp.
Well, what is an ultra?
An ultra-liberal. It's a type of liberal. From the revolution. It's, not the moderate kind.
Oh, Dios míos, a liberal.
Yes. I am the nether creature of the Forbidden Swamp. I pushed the king under a shit wagon and betrayed the revolution. My kind surrendered the nation to financial colonists. I can see you thought we'd gone extinct. After all, no sane person identifies as an ultra-liberal anymore. Not in broad daylight. You're a man of the left, no? Tell me, now that I've uncoiled myself, are you repulsed?
In her green eyes, you see a mixture of truth and self-satire. Decades of guilt and pride. Forgive her. But only because you like pearlescent teeth and those light green eyes.
I forgive you, but only because you're charming.
A devil, who being of great charm and guile, sneaketh into the homes of the godly.
Beneath her waterproof raincoat and silk shirt is a body imbibed in numb 12 perfume. You are suddenly and intimately aware of it.
Vaya doyo.
I hope we're able to continue as friends, despite my deeply felt need to infiltrate and betray the revolution, and then ensnare you to financial service. Honestly, I may have even preferred it, had the communards won. Who knows? They might really have built something better. But they didn't, because they lost. When the dust settled, the Liberals were the only ones left to clean up the mess. By virtue of their survival, they were handed enormous power to shape the future. This was all our last generation
Would
managed.
you have done something differently?
With due respect to our overlords, the eternal caretaker government that keeps Martinez a monument to the efficacy of its artillery.
While a gentle wind sweeps the streets in the rebuilt east, light drizzle washing it clean, lights go up and motor carriages circulate the tracks.
I would not have relinquished sovereignty to the Coalition. Not here in Martinez, and not in the Stella Maris or Delta Beachheads either. If not for my own sake, then for my daughters. We had an obligation to defend our sovereignty. We should have burned the whole Isola down rather than let them have it.
Dark orange flames reflect in her green eyes.
You're a patriot.
An oil fire on the ocean.
Yes, I suppose I am. But I wouldn't be a patriot anywhere but here.
Seditious talk, man.
You're a smart woman.
Perhaps. My intellectual vanity will be my undoing.
You have daughters.
Yes. Whatever else I am, I'm also a mother and a wife. Now, shall we return to reality?
What is this?
A bird? A Svenicid?
You guess it.
A flightless bird of the polar regions?
I mean, what is this place here?
Ah. This is the pier of Rue de Saint-Ghislaine, 33A, where the tenants have been kind enough to rent me a slot, or two. A pre-revolutionary tenement. Old buildings are called tenements, you see. And new buildings, bâtiments. After les bâtiments nouveaux.
Bâtiment
But
nouveau.
33A and 33B
Gotta love the
are
French stuff.
not nouveau. They're old. This one used to be 8 to 10 stories tall. A real high-rise by the standards of the last century. Built to mirror the skyscrapers across the bay in the Delta. That was before the war, of course.
Who lived in them?
Mostly the urban middle class, I believe. This was once primo real estate, before the cannons lopped 4 or 5 stories off. Splat, splat.
What the?
Wonderful.
What is that?
The girl in the old lady rags.
Yes.
Looks like a sullen and rebellious member of a teen infraculture.
Infraculture.
Yes, you and I belong to the supraculture. We're common, the herd. The music on the radio, the food in the chain restaurant, those are all too popular for the girl in the old lady rag. She prefers a fantasy world, an infraculture with its own dress code and vernacular. It is an illusion,
I
I'm
understand
afraid.
everything. Make it more complicated.
There is no
somehow.
refuge from the supraculture. I can't. That's how simple it is. One may dye their hair green and wear their grandma's coat all they want. Capital has the ability
Oh,
to
we got
subsume
some
all
stuff.
critiques into itself.
Up in
Even
here,
those who would critique
get a
capital
little
end up
more-
reinforcing it instead.
I kind of want a little more morale. Kind of want a little more suggestion. Get a little more charm. But do we want to understand people more? Eh, we could. Ooh, but we do get -1 bonus from items. What if we get empathy? I'll focus more on empathy. Yeah.
All right. What next?
Alright, let's see if this does anything. Oh,
It
yes.
remains a mystery what you mean by this something close. This isn't about you. It's about
How
reality.
about this one?
A strange coldness comes over you as you look at the world. The waves, it's on the tip of your tongue.
The girl in the old lady. Yes. There's some. The girl in the old looks like a. Yes. She prefers young people who dye their hair funny colors and wear old people's clothes are stupid, and their little rebellion is self-defeating. All right. What next? The girl in the old lady rag looks like a. Yes.
We
She
can gain
prefers
little
a fantasy
experience by
world,
doing
an
this.
infraculture with its. I can't. All right.
Alright, that's all for now.
Glad to have been of assistance. The little that
Can
I
do
know.
anything. Wait, what?
Anything else?
I'm not gonna ask about money. You know something about these tattoos?
That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question.
Yes, I do know something about the tattoos.
Better not tie the forestay to the backstay on this.
She wants to answer the question. Protocol keeps her from it.
That's the man who was killed.
Oh, is looking
I'm
at the
afraid
photo
this is a
tied to the
discussion for
lynching.
one. Better not tie the forestay.
She wants to answer the question.
By the way, I
Protocol
talked to
keeps her
Evroth
from
and
it.
Claire.
You have. And
Finally, time to choose sides.
I didn't.
oh, come on now. He has his uses. How else would he have stayed in power all these years? Or wait, actually, corruption. That's how he's done it. Fantastic, Verne-like corruption, reaching into the bowels of the earth.
The position of my unusual colleague does not reflect official policy.
Of course. And I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a corrupt Verne myself. However, if you felt like discussing something, how could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take? It's only natural. We would only be gossiping.
Tell her she'll like you for it.
Yes, your disgusting necktie agrees completely. Let's gossip.
Mr. Evroth is helping me find my gun. Yes, let's listen to the horrific necktie.
Oh. That's so helpful of him.
The lieutenant looks at you, and you can swear his jaw muscle is trembling.
And conventional police officers sometimes lose their guns. They then go around and tell people about this, to gauge their reactions. It's all part of the...
Incredible. Simply incredible. And how is it going? Has this detecting produced a gun?
No.
Well, maybe he's not as helpful as you thought then. Is there anything
I'd rather
else?
talk about something else for now, if you don't mind.
Of course, detective. Should something come up later? Until then, is there anything I
Got
can
some more
help you with?
questions about reality.
More lessons in basic reality?
Never mind.
Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else?
Thank you, that's
Of
it
course,
for-
detective.
Wow, you work
I do.
hard. Oh, yes. You hustle. You're a provider. It's tough out there. but you keep it real.
I
and
guess I
provide.
do, yeah.
Oh yeah, like a
What
horse,
hard work do I do
a
exactly?
workhorse for hard work. Look at yourself. You're a human pedometer. You must have walked 200,000 steps down cracked asphalt, mosaic, sand, and linoleum after you re-emerge. That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The world is harsh and people are evil. You didn't make it that way, and you won't let it break
Fucking
you.
ride till I die,
You
bitch.
ride. That's just what it's like. Life and death. But you got gills on your side, baby. Got those black papers with the faces of the innocents on them. You bring in the Franco Negros and the Solas. It ain't easy, but you do it. Day in and day out. You didn't make the rules, but you won't lose. You're a cop and a sprinter and a money printer.
You could say I took some money from that banana guy too. I guess I made some gills, sure.
Sure. And has it been easy? Is life easy? Have you not gone into cardiac arrest? Are you not about to have an anxiety attack or shoot yourself in the mouth? But you still hustle 24/7, ride or die. Now, ask yourself, are you rich?
No, I'm actually not.
That's right. You work harder than anyone. You almost rode yourself to the grave and you're still practically a hobo. Why is that?
It's because of that guy running my ass. The system is broken.
Boo-hoo. The system is broken. The establishment
What?
is keeping me down. That's not the fuck yeah attitude you're used to. What is this? Why are you so poor?
I don't know, why am I so poor?
Because of the taxes. G-Man's got his jam-covered sticky fingers in your pocket, stealing from you every time you buy, sell,
Really, every time I sneeze.
walk, talk, fart, so much as sneeze. Every time you wipe your ass. They got their direct and their indirect modes of taxation. Sales tax, excise duty, extraction tax, alimony. One tax that doesn't even have a name. Plus there's the stuff people in other countries pay for. That makes them ask for more money from you. 98% of all your money.
No fucking way. I guess I'm a free market fundamentalist now.
Here you go, hustler. Fight the righteous fight. Free the people. Keep it real. Keep it street. Keep foaming at the mouth furiously on the tax issue.
Dig. Very interesting. But we have got to sell those hubcaps and go to sleep mod. By 2, everybody's asleep. Okay? Even the dude who is over here. The cafeteria manager. Now, we gotta find that pawn shop. It's south? Wherever south is, I guess. Is this it? Please tell me this is it. And please tell me we got enough money. This seems like a pawn shop.
If you don't mind, please put the flashlight away?
Oh, right. Sorry about
Some
that.
of us have photonic sensitivity. I do appreciate it. It's not often that I see officers from the RCM in my pawn shop. What can I do for you?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light
Nothing.
across the walls of the shop.
Sorry, I feel like I'm interrupting you.
Oh no, not at all. I guess I haven't had many customers lately. RCM or otherwise.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake, people who are terminally bored. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from.
Quite a collection. I may have something to add to it. So I think your selection are more tasteful than others.
It keeps me entertained.
Entertained? He might be high. If he is, on what?
Might be able to aid our investigation.
I doubt it, but I
Or
can
anything
try
about
and
the
answer any
recent
questions. I do my best to keep my distance from all.
No one likes to see what you have to see every day. The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors.
Do you have any guns like the ones carried by the officer of the citizens militia?
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the
What?
gun you pawned a couple days back.
Oh my gosh, we actually pawned our gun.
What? Sold? The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another.
I sold you my gun.
Alert.
You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were undeserving
Oh
of
my
a service weapon
gosh.
of the
We just
Revachol
found out what
Citizens
happened during
Militia.
gun.
And I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts photon emissions. The unhealthy kind.
He's not telling you the whole story. It seems he's trying to
I
speak.
feel like there's something you're not telling me.
You weren't quiet yourself, officer.
What was I done?
You were very distraught. You said the gun was a threat to your life and that you can't trust yourself with it tonight. And that you need the money. When I said that I don't normally buy firearms, you put the gun barrel in your mouth and sort of sucked on it. Then I agreed to take it.
You sucked on a gun? Good. Very normal.
Wait, how much did I sell the gun for?
15 real.
The lieutenant looks from you to Roy, and then back to you. It's
Yeah.
clear that he hopes this tableau might still turn out to be. This has got to be the most. Wow.
Yeah, this has got to be the most wow.
There's pity there too, in case you didn't notice.
I'm so sorry you had to see me in that state. We don't have to talk about it any further. Absence is best of us, I guess. No.
No apologies necessary, officer.
Oh, what?
You were, and I don't.
He's not telling you the whole story.
You weren't. You were very. When I said.
You sucked on a gun? The light swirls in his face and glasses. He doesn't know what to say.
Was the buyer a policeman too?
She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig,
Kuno S.
which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive, but I was just happy to get rid of it. And of her, truth be told, she was terrifying.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the Citizens Militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it?
Miraculously, his face does not reveal what's happening inside.
I don't like it either. What if she intends to commit a crime and blame on the citizens' militia?
You're right that she could cast aspersions on the force. We have to find out.
Any idea where I can find this bar?
My apologies, officer.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it right now. You just have to hope Everard wasn't lying, and the Union can track her down in time.
Are people from Everard's Chaos Union come to here to track that gun?
Maybe. Shady-looking guys came in here yesterday, looking like they'd just taken off their Wild Pines overalls. They asked if I have a police weapon to sell. I told them I already sold it. They went their way. It was a trip, but you know.
Maybe Claire really is tracking down your gun.
At least I know how I lost my sidearm.
Of course.
Like to know. Let's see what this does.
Okay, he definitely is high. Whatever it is, you've probably done it, and many other things besides. But you can't cut through the jumble of sensations to get to the answer. A guarded man like him wouldn't tell you if you asked out loud.
Here's something I'd like to sell.
Yes, we'd like to sell these hubcaps.
Roy takes the hubcaps from the lieutenant and inspects them. The spinners appear iridescent in the dancing light of his pawn shop.
Yes, these are very, very good. Did you defraud some foreign prince for them? Jump-a-mesque banger? No matter. I'll give you 200 real.
No one was defrauded or jumped, I assure you.
Of course. I meant no offense. 200 real for you, officer. Delightful doing business with you. Do come again.
Thank you. Here's the 130 real you need for your bill. Do not waste it.
The windfall is a small consolation.
Anything else you're thinking of selling?
I don't have anything to sell at the moment.
Another time, perhaps.
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets. Try to find something pretty and cool here.
Win her
Then
back?
use it to win her back. Yes. Buy something nice. A figurine. Everything you pick out seems faded, chipped, and sad somehow. Most of them are just big men on big horses, clad in lamella armor.
Franco-Nigerian knights. I used to be very serious about these guys.
A long, long time ago. They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trousers. They are variously posed.
This is what the loyalists look like, yes, at first. Then they...
Which ones? Ah, those. Yes, they are.
This set of soldiers isn't meant to look impressive.
You're probably talking about the revolution. I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win. I don't like either set very much, to be honest.
He seems to have his own take on the conflict played out in perpetuity by these toys. Might be interesting to find out what... The boomboxes on the shelf look well loved and well. One especially catches your eye. Deep God, this is you. Just make sure it works before you buy it.
Is the Harman Welsh W2, made in Vespa, designed in Seoul, plays all reel-to-reel format, 2mm, 8mm, 12mm. It's even got a little radio in there. If police work means playing tapes, sure, you can use it for that, or any other type.
Like a beach party, with sand and sun and seagulls dancing on the breeze.
Theoretically, yes, but we don't have time right now. It's generally murder investigation first, then we...
You can play it any way you like. And I guess since you're a
Are you
police
sure this is all in working order?
no one can arrest. Absolutely. I've tested each one myself with recordings of speech. Found sounds and music from a variety of genres.
A typical Martinez streetlight. sits among assorted floor and table lamps.
Is that a street light?
Yes, officer. As you see,
The light pole has been carefully cut.
it was brought to me to be altered.
We are not here to investigate the theft of city property. You have to admit it's rather clever what he's done with it.
700 real.
A bargain? No, it's not. He's trying to sweet talk you into buying trash.
The light has undergone 3 transformations, and every transformation, large or small, has a price tag. Well, there are the costs of removal. The most important transformation is the light's placement among ordinary indoor fixtures, which has adjusted its morphology.
Okay, I think I'm done here. Gotta pay off our tab. Go talk to guy who's not so happy with us, cafeteria manager, as he so enthusiastically titles himself. Alright, let's go talk to what's his name? Yeah, cafeteria manager. Oh, looks like people are asleep for the most part. Well, except for this guy, potentially. It's all about money, you know. Yeah.
Can I help you?
I
Yes.
have your money.
Have you got? Well,
Here it is. Sorry for the trouble.
great. Thank you, officer. That's all I wanted. Payment for services rendered. If you continue to stay here, I just ask that you please pay your nightly bill in advance starting tomorrow.
He's not sorry about his behavior for your sake. Now that you have money, he really wants to make sure you're not angry with him.
The electronic lock to your room has been disabled till 9 p.m. tomorrow. Please pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow. 20 real per night.
I'll take a room here too.
Of course. Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests. Anything else I can do for you? Do I have a shake?
He sounds irritated.
Am I wearing it? Am I smiling? Do you see me? That's right. I'm the cafeteria manager.
Oh, fucking drink, asshole. Nah.
Like what?
Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally, and now we know your cop.
Wait, there were a couple times?
Yes. Guess what's yours?
Cool cop? I was kind of hoping I'm the superstar cop.
That is only a ludicrous daydream. Guess again. You're
Cool
the...
cop.
No, you're the sorry cop. The cop who's sorriest. Huge lack of enthusiasm going on in here.
Won't the other couple times be jealous?
What? Jealous of the sorry cop? I think they'll be fine. They'll be super, super fine. It'll be totally okay. You can dual copo type from sorry to
Okay.
anything. Of course you are. It's okay. See if you can get something out of this, like info. Or maybe every time you say you're sorry.
Okay. Close to leveling up. But what would we use that skill point on is a question. We need more stuff here. Yes. Alright, and just like our character, we also have to go to sleep.
This is the door to the room you
Yeah,
redecorated.
Lieutenant.
Just a moment. You had some questions earlier,
Alright, let's
I
go.
believe. And besides, we should discuss our...
Dang.
The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum. Then,
Where shall we begin? We should talk about the investigation.
Oh,
First
he's a
and
smoker.
foremost. But I also remember you wanting to discuss the RCM.
I didn't know you smoked, Kim.
I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual.
oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette.
Do you have any more cigarettes?
I apologize, but I only brought one with
How'd
me.
you get so cool?
I have
Kim?
exactly one cigarette every night while I go. You mean this? This isn't cool. It's an unnecessary trial of will and unhealthy.
Keeping the habit within the parameters he's given himself takes a lot of focus. It would be easy
Right,
to
that's
simply
brief.
quit.
Yes. It's been a long and
How do you think
eventful
today
day.
went?
We performed a cursory initial inspection. Then you shot the body down, which was...
Damn straight. I'm a
Quite
sharp
a shot.
shooting cap.
On this occasion, I must agree. At any rate, your shot enabled us to perform a field autopsy on the victim. We found some things we can really work with. I still feel like we missed something. But at least the corpse has been refrigerated. There's still work to be done.
He's right. You could smell it. That something is missing. Even under the overpowering odor of the corpse.
Now, as for interviews, my list of people to talk to here in Martinez, I mean.
No, that's my fault. Unlike most cops, I understand how important communication is in our line of work.
Very important indeed. Well, we conducted an interview with him. He wasn't particularly...
I'm sure I
forthcoming
can
with
get him to
useful
tell us
information.
more.
Claire also helped you, how should I say, remember your name?
Big relief. It's a
That's
very
right.
serviceable name. I don't know how I feel. I don't want a different name. I want to have him ruin it. I don't know how I feel about my name, actually.
That's normal. It's best.
Kim must have had doubts about his name at some point too, but deliberately
Have
discarded
you ever
it.
wanted to change your name, Kim?
Change? No, not exactly. But I think all of us at some point imagine what our lives might have been. And then we feel trapped by the names we've been given as symbols of the intentions and expectations.
Dang, so deep.
Even if I were to change my name now, upon hearing any syllable that sounds like King in the street, I turn to see who was good. But let's talk about Joyce Messier for a moment.
That's a good old lady with a cool name.
I have a feeling that she knows how dangerous the situation really is. We have to get her to talk. Above all, though, today was exhausting. What's with all the
Oh,
running?
he actually
The running
did.
light.
He's seen us
Is that a
run.
standard Precinct 41 practice?
I have a really good theory about why you're running so fast, son. Just you wait until we get up
I
tomorrow.
like to waste time. Mine moves fast, the rest has to try to keep up.
It's impressive, especially for a man your age. And in those hills. Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Goes with the orange.
So what are our powers exactly? RCM?
They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Rebachol Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing
Why not
fines of
more?
up to 1,000 real. The RCM's primary role is to ensure safety.
Wouldn't that be an
We're
easy
not
card
really
to
supposed to
use?
play any part. Yes, although indirectly, as citizens can always. Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount. It undermines. We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve as station
Can you
calls.
ensure the
Prevents
arrest people
confusion
show
and
up?
overcrowding. You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they are eventually caught. It's about power projection. Thus far, they seem to mostly show up.
When power calls you, you come. But power itself is
I
a
see, and if
fragile
someone
trick
uses
of
this-
perception.
We are permitted to use whatever force we deem necessary, even lethal.
So wait, so if I kill someone, how do
You have to supply compelling evidence for why it was necessary to use lethal force. In these cases, your partner is usually your witness. Not a good position to be in, by the way. Internal Affairs handles these cases thoroughly.
Have you ever
By cross-examining
killed
you for
Okay.
inconsistent.
What?
Yes. The last time was 4 years ago.
He says it matter-of-factly.
Have I ever killed anyone?
That's an improbability. Perhaps even impossibility.
Of course you've killed people. It's somewhere down there, melting in all
I
the
must have.
drink.
I feel it in me. I probably have.
Precinct 41 is known for higher than average rate of police violence.
He's not judging you. He's respectfully acknowledging
happens
the
to the people
difficulty
we
of
convict?
working in your precinct.
We don't convict. We arrest and send them to coalition government
It
courts
makes okay.
in Couvain
Yeah.
and
All
yes,
these rules.
the international community's mission in Ravachol, and the moral intern more broadly. The RCM was formed by the coalition government to restore order in the international zone after the revolution. So we did. Now we attempt to maintain that order. No more, no less. Or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of
Let's say
contention
it's the
whether the
citizens of
citizens of
Ravachol.
Ravachol or the coalition government founded the
Say
RCM.
it's a coalition government.
It's probably more honest, yes. Either way, the Moral Intern leases us the right
Moralintern,
to
what's
keep the
that?
peace in this city. The Moralist International are the world's largest political organization. You know who they are. They have been running this place after the
I didn't know.
revolution
How would you
failed.
describe them?
They're a union of center-left and center-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP,
What do they believe in?
EPIS, most intergovernmental organization. What do they believe in? They are Dolorians. They believe they continue the humanist project set forth by Her Innocence Dolores Day 4 centuries ago. Others say they are just
Who
technocrats.
was Dolores Day?
A historic figure? The author of the modern age? You will have to look elsewhere for opinions. The subject of humanism is too...
For you, she is something painful. Though
What
it's
is her
hard to
symbol?
say why.
Interesting question. It's a blue forget-me-not. Their motto is love, compassion.
Something ominous. Something even a little feminine.
What do you think of them?
But in a strict...
The moral intern are a fact. I try not to have opinions on facts until they change.
It is more than that.
You like the
There's
moral
some kind of
intern.
affection in him.
Yes, I did, when I was younger. In my 20s, I considered myself a moralist. A blue forget-me-not, a piece of the sky. They're not all that bad, but the years have changed that. I don't know what I believe in now. No, I believe
I have
in
an
the
opinion
RCM.
on the
That's
moral
enough.
intern.
Do you?
Things are bad out there. We need them here, giving us the right to police Ravachol.
In fact, we would need them even if you didn't think that way. We are in what is called the twilight of international law. The laws we claim to enforce
Yeah,
come from the
vigilantes
Allied.
sound
Without them,
bad.
we are simply vigilantes.
Actually, vigilantes is okay with me.
Then you will adore Martinez. For many of these people, the Union especially, vigilantes is precisely what we are.
The lights of the orphan district are reflected in his glasses. The red and golden orbs of the motorway sliding like pearls on a string from east to west. The dying lights of the city shimmer below. Slowly, like luminous clouds, they pass on his lenses. The lieutenant looks at his slim cigarette. This soldier is the highlight of the day for me, he thinks.
They really don't like us here. And the mouth on that kid, Kuno. It's different inland, in Jamrock and the
Why are they like
GRIH. It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company, to not daring to come here more often. This place has fallen between the cracks, the jurisdictions of
And
our
in
two
Jamrock and in
precincts.
GRIH?
We run this city. West of the river is RCM land. It's incredibly hard. Human beings are... But we are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works. Our systems work. If they didn't,
Night. Captain Bartholomew Price steps into the yard. A piebald horse waits by the motor carriage, chewing oats out of an oat bag. Seagulls fly overhead. The sky is black. Captain Price wears a black suit and a standard patrol coat. As he rows of houses on either side, hunching over the sidewalks, and Precinct 41 with its dome roof growing distant. Thanks, kid, he thinks. He's grateful.
I hope our investigation will help improve the situation here, at least do some good.
me too. But I wouldn't count on any
Thank you
drastic
for this.
changes. Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go.
Okay, I mean, we could level up anything. Like anything. We could even internalize stuff? Maybe. Nah, I don't wanna. We could use a little authority. Or we could use a little more endurance. I do like a little more endurance, honestly. Yeah, we need a little more endurance. Oh yeah.
Yes?
That should help a little. See you in the morning.
The bed is cold and not particularly inviting, but it's yours. The sheets look awful. The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes. And then sleep doesn't come.
Sleep has to come. Sleep has to come.
And then sleep
I wanna
doesn't
sleep.
come. Obviously, you're in bed with your eyes closed, but it's not happening. Maybe it's the bed's fault.
Check the pillow.
Its synthetic filling has separated into hard
Take a break.
lumps. It barely covers your toes, stretching over your soft belly. This is your body here, intimate and warm, breathing. Under your thrumming eyelids, you see a dizzying array of colors. You won't get
Roll
off
over
this
to the other
path.
side.
Quite is a little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Part of you is still trying to solve
Who
the
killed
case,
him?
isn't it? Something to do with, what was it that the lieutenant said? Union? And it's gone again. Your thoughts lost between the slowing
thoughts
brain
lost
waves. Your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you until your eyelids twitch in your sleep and images start forming.
Oh, we're dreaming of the case. And before we, I think I should really go to sleep. I'm gonna tune off before we investigate this sus-looking disco ball that's hanging the corpse. Alright, I'll save here. I'll see y'all later. Good night.